Hello guys, Patrick this side. So today we will be solving a LeetCode problem, merge sorted array. So let's understand this problem quickly. We are given two integer arrays, nums1 and nums2, which are sorted in non-decreasing order, and two integers m and n representing the number of elements in nums1 and nums2 respectively. So what we have to do is we have to merge these two arrays into one array in a non-decreasing order. So the final sorted array should not be written by the function, but instead be stored inside the array nums1. So what this problem is asking us is that we don't need to return anything as this is a void type, as we can see. We have to put the elements of nums2 inside the nums1 array. And to accommodate this, nums1 has a length of m plus n, where the first m elements denote the elements that should be merged and the last n elements are set to be 0 and should be ignored. Nums2 has a length of n. So to make this happen and put the nums2 elements in nums1, the nums1 has a length of m plus n, and the first elements denote that elements should be merged. So let's understand this question more by an example. So we have nums1 where we have given a size of 6, which is the sum of m plus n. And as we can see, m is equal to 3 here. So only there are three elements we are counting 1, 2, 3, and we are ignoring all three other zeros. And in places of zeros, we have to replace the nums2 elements here. And n is equal to 3 here. So we have to replace these elements in places of zeros and then sort them in a non-decreasing order and hence give our answer, which is this. So our approach would be first brute force. We will take a temporary array and then we push our elements into the temporary array and the both nums1 and nums2, and then we'll sort that temporary array, and then we will replace that temporary array. We'll replace the elements of nums1 to that of temporary element. So let's create our vector of int data type, which will be our temporary array, and then I will push my elements in temporary array. So I'm basically going to iterate through m only in nums1 because as you can see we don't want zeros in our temporary array, and iterating to nums and iterating through m will only get our elements, and I will do the same for our nums2 array and only iterate through our n elements, and then we are going to sort this temp dot begin. So here I'm basically using a inbuilt method provided by CPP. This will definitely increase our complexities, but let's not think about that. This is brute force approach. And then I'm going to run another for loop, and this for loop will be the one for loop which will replace our elements of n nums1 to our temporary elements which are already sorted. And it, so here I'm going to iterate through m plus n. We can also write here nums1 dot size because they are basically both the same. Now I will just replace my elements to that of temporary elements, and here we don't need to return it. So let's see if our brute force approach works or not. As you can see, it is passing the test cases. So let's submit and see if it is working. So basically in this, our time complexity and space complexity are not that good as we have used an inbuilt sort method. And our time complexity would be O m plus n log m plus n. And our space complexity would also be O m plus n. Hence we have used a vector here. So we can optimize our space complexity by not using the vector directly and another temporary vector. We can directly just merge the elements of nums2 into nums1, And so let's understand how we do it. So I will just create a for loop to iterate through it, and I will iterate through only nums elements. And to iterate and to replace these zeros, all I have to do is I have to write here nums1 I plus m is equal to nums2 I. So what I'm basically doing here is I'm going to replace all those elements that come after m to the elements in nums2, which should be happening in this question. And after this, I'll just sort my nums1 element, nums1 dot begin, nums. Let's see if it is working or not. I've completely erased the temporary element and merging directly into the nums1. And this helps us in making our space complexity better, as we have not used any other data type, but our time complexity is still not that good because we are using the sort inbuilt method, but that's for another thing. So I hope you understand both approaches, and I hope we meet again in another video.